All right, so in today's podcast, we're basically going to go into social media and its effect on your mind, but it's not 10 minutes because we ended up straying into a completely different topic that I wasn't really trying to upload, but that's something for another day, hopefully. But yeah, enjoy the pod. Catch you.
I have a channel called Ill Dreamer.
Ill Dreamer? All right, so we'll call you Ill Dreamer. If you guys want to sub up to him too as well, be my guest. What about you, second person who joined?
Call me Humble or Humble Altmer.
All right, I'm gonna call you Humble. So I'm with my guest, Humble and Ill Dreamer. How you guys doing today?
I'm okay.
Oh, that's good. That's good. All right, so we're gonna be talking about tech and really the effects on basically society as a whole. I know. There's a lot to get into, but my first question is, do you think tech has done more good or harm?
Okay, well, I mean, you kind of started off this question on a good note because I think people are often prone to perceiving conversations like this negatively, just based on the connotations. But not a lot of people have the balls, to talk about these things, and obviously, there are a lot of people who are concerned about tech and tech's influence. So yeah, first of all, I just think it's important to talk about, and I do agree that tech has, or I think that tech has a negative influence.
Okay.
I would say overall good. However, there are issues with the way it's implemented in our current society that do have detrimental effects. I could name examples, companies or systems that are in place that kind of highlight the problems that were there before, but put them in a new spotlight and make them a lot bigger than they used to be.
I see you guys are kind of
overall,
okay, my fault. Continue.
I'm almost done. Overall, tech has been a huge plus for the world. Let's just take the internet, the biggest revolution of all, which has put scientific discovery ahead many, many years in a very short amount of time.
Okay. So I see you guys are kind of like dabbling on both sides. I think Humble, you're more towards the you said the positive, but I'm gonna ask you this, and it's really gonna just give me your perception straightforwardly, I guess. Would you want your kids to be in the metaverse? Would you want them to grow up in the metaverse?
Well, I think let's take technology now, right? So I have friends, or I've had friends, and they were not able to join me for playing Among Us because they couldn't use voice call. And they were just they just couldn't do social activities. So in a way, society forces kids to do the most interesting, most stimulating thing, which is play online and probably will be the metaverse. So in a way, you don't really have a choice here.
You think
There's
you don't have a
only
choice?
the hope. I'm almost. So in a way, you kind of have to protect your children from going online. But once their classmates, their friends go online, you can't really stop them. But I do think it's a bad thing because the attention span of a lot of young people is completely obliterated because of the way it works. So I will try to put it off for as long as possible, but I won't stop it completely. No.
I'd like to posit that that question itself, it kind of forces us to only pick between this corporation or not this corporation. And this sort of depends on people's view of corporations, really. That's the question here. But I think that there's a bigger question in culture and in privacy, and just the overlying lack of privacy that we have in general in all applications nowadays, whether it's Facebook or Twitter or YouTube, or it doesn't matter what it is, there's not a whole lot of privacy, and the influence of those companies is often toxic, I would say. So I wouldn't personally raise my children on these technologies because I would see that as a waste of time, and I would definitely like to be present in my child's life.
Not necessarily use against you, but you can.
I see. I kind of want to pivot a little bit too. like the censorship rule. I know you guys know like moderators, of course, but not like Discord moderators, social media moderators. I'm not sure if you've seen any like documentaries on like the effects that it's had on the moderators actually like controlling these big tech
I
platforms.
have.
But
I'm familiar. Yeah.
what do you think is the problem with human moderation right now?
So there's not a lot of moderators, which is also an issue. So they work a lot of like hours, and they have no time to like vent about it. They can't really talk about it either. So when you come home and you can talk to your partner about the fucked up shit you saw, it like eases your mind. Like you can only really process something once you've told someone, and they had like non-disclosure
Yep,
agreements.
NDAs.
So it was, yeah, thanks. So that's one of the problems. I think the biggest problem is that it's a minimum wage job that is not well regulated. I think if they would be paid enough for, or they get free counseling or whatever, but fundamentally, robots need to be very good at moderating. Like it's not a job a human can do. Like with the profit motive, you can't have enough moderation for all humans who use a website because then the site wouldn't be, profitable anymore.
Now that kind of segues into when it comes to censorship, because you're saying that AI kind of needs to get better, but I don't
Mm-hmm.
think that AI can actually ever be that good because technically you're censoring morality, and morality is subjective, right? And can a robot really learn a subjective matter?
So I'm, IT, as I already said. I'm I'm fascinated by AI. I think it's like absolute the coolest thing. But like the things that humans really struggle with, like art, art, being a doctor, all like math, like that stuff is so different for computers. It's a completely different mindset. So there will be fuck ups, but AI can get so advanced that the fuck ups will be less severe than a tired, overworked human, which is the bar we have now. So it can
Or
really
for
only improve.
example,
And
they'll
with
like flag certain things, and then a human would
yeah,
like review
this is
that. But
a
I think
this
what
is a
he's
doubt
saying though is
case.
that it's
Yeah,
possible that like human or that the robot will miss more shit. You know what I'm saying? It's because it's how do you teach her? I mean, I don't know, but then again, I mean, Tesla's got the thing where they're putting it in a brain and it's solving genetic things. So
Right,
I
I'd
right.
mean,
like to
fuck, anything's
interject that.
possible, bro.
I'd like to
just
interject that all psychometric algorithms are made from deep learning. People don't actually program um, psychology into software, into artificial intelligence, because they can't. But what they can do is set parameters uh, and force an artificial intelligence to become a certain way.
So this is actually gonna be my last question because at the end of the day, you know what, I'm gonna have to do a double one because I didn't get your point on this. Do you think technology is inherently bad?
I I mean I like glasses. What do you mean?
Do you think, plain and simple, yes or no, do you think technology itself, let's say Facebook for
I mean
example, is inherently bad?
if you ask is technology bad, I'm thinking yeah, fuck those medicines and fuck those like prosthetic legs or a desk, like, oh, evil. Like, no, but if you say Facebook, yeah, Facebook is evil. However, most social medias aren't. There's a lot of things that need to be solved, a lot of market manipulation that was, in a way, kind of similar to the 1920s, if I'm not mistaken, where a lot of monopolies existed and that was bad for consumers. And in a way, the governments of the world need to protect us from that because this is a global thing and it needs to be solved globally. But overall, I think it's a great thing because it makes long distance relationships work. It
Humble, I
helps
need I
people
need
be
a
less
yes or
lonely.
no, and we only got 10 minutes, chief. You're gonna make me do a lot of
Yes.
editing. Yes, you think it's bad?
No, no, no.
No.
Technology is great and I love it.
Okay, okay. All right, what
I'm
about
sorry
you?
for rambling.
Um, yeah, I'm probably just gonna ramble as much as he is, so I'm just gonna say pass.
You can't give me a yes or no? You're gonna give me
All
like
right,
an
I
in the
got you.
middle?
I got
Maybe.
you. Yes,
Yes. Okay.
technology is bad.
Okay. 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 So now my second question is for you personally. Do you think that it's bad because of the way you use it, or it's just technology's fault?
People are bad.
It's
Technology is
So then
good.
you say
People are
that
bad.
you're bad.
I am
Sure.
bad. I am human, therefore I am flawed.
So
But yeah, for all of you that do have channels or whatever, if you want to plug your stuff right now, you can do so. But we're about to close up. I appreciate you guys, being on the pod, and I'm gonna see if I can get this uploaded soon.
I'm humble
You're
author.
Yeah,
If you
I
ever
got
see me on Discord, DM me. I love you.
I don't really have media that much. Like Ill Dreamer, you can check that out on Twitch and YouTube.
Okay, cool. Once again, appreciate the guests are, popping out and just having the conversation. And I'll catch you guys in the next episode. Deuces.